Hello everyone. I'm running late today. Sorry about that. It's just been a busy day. Busy couple of weeks here, but also having a little bit of a hard time getting on Lamania on an admin. I'm not quite sure what's up with that, but I'm hopefully working through that now. So I will be with you in just a second here. If I have to, I can log in on a non-admin on Lamania, but I was hoping to be able to log into an admin so I could show off some of the new Lamania stuff in a way that's maybe a little bit easier. There we go. Let's see. Do it the old-fashioned way. In case you wonder, it literally does not matter what I'm choosing for feats, for I am an admin god, and I can do whatever I need to if I need to. I don't like that looking guy. Let's see. Good enough. Let's see if this works. Yay! Alright, must be a demo character thing. Yes, I will get to extra life and stuff here in just a second. Odds are pretty good all this getting cut out of the final thing. But for now, let's just roll with it. Make sure I'm up here. I am. All right. Hello and welcome everyone to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDO stream, youtube.com/Dungeons and Dragons/live, and facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. I'm DDO's Community Manager Cordovan, and I'm kind of running a little bit late today because we are busy. But what am I doing today? I am going to be on Lamania, showing you a few things coming with Keep on the Borderlands. I'm not going to spoil the content. I know in general people tell me they don't really want to see the new quests or the new landscape or that kind of thing. A little too spoilery. But there are some cool things that I could show you, and I intend to do so here in just a moment. Yep. First off, let me gives out guild buffs, holder of newer loot. Yeah, we'll just kind of pull from that here for that. Heroic stuff. Let's see. I think it's... I'm just giving myself a couple levels just in case any of it matters. There we go, my cleric trainer. Normally I don't even have to do this because I can just make a demo character, but like I said, for some reason it wasn't wanting to work so hot. So let's see what we got. All right, before I guess I get totally on Lamania showing you various things. Care of this. All right. We have got a current preview going of Keep on the Borderlands. We have a dev event tonight from about 6 to 8 o'clock tonight, so we'd sure love to get any information that you feel like giving us. I'm going to show off a few things here today. Before I get to that, though, I want to thank everyone for their work this most recent Extra Life. Let me go and call up that page. All right. As you can see, we had a very successful DDO Extra Life stream on Saturday. We also did one on the Lochura side on Friday. And a bunch of people from Team Standing Stone Games are continuing to raise money for Extra Life. But after the weekend here, we not only crushed our 10,000 goal, we set a 15,000 goal, and we crushed that. Now we're setting a 20,000 goal to kind of wrap things up if we can, and we're currently at 16,011. Now, I know a lot of DDO and Lochura streamers have not actually done their Extra Life streams yet because November 2nd is the official day for Extra Life streaming. I tend to be busy that weekend, so we did it early. But thanks to your support, we've got more than $16,000 going to various hospitals from the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals, much of that going to the Boston Children's Hospital by donations to my personal campaign. And we're just kicking butt. So thank you so much for doing that. Every little bit helps. If you were able to donate $10, that gets you into all the drawings we're going to be doing. If you were able to be more generous, that is incredible. And we've had some extremely generous people on the DDO community. So I really do want to give my heartfelt thanks to everyone who took part, who was able to donate, who, if you were not able to donate, maybe spread the word about it, or helped raise money themselves or something like that. So everything that has been done makes a big difference, and we are continuing this drive through November 15th, so you do have an opportunity to get this in. Also, though, per usual, I'm looking at October 30th here, and that means in 2 days. It is the first day November. And that means pretty soon this is all going away. Yep. So I'm going to be shaving first thing on Friday morning. And, hey, my good best luck. But I do it every year because I'm raising money for Movember as well. Movember specifically supports prostate cancer research, testicular cancer research, male-focused mental health outreach, all sorts of various support programs, and we're going to be kicking that off on Friday. I'll have a URL. I'm going to be setting up Team Standing Stone Games probably in the next 24 hours here because, hey, we're almost in November, and I'll get a post up on the forums as another opportunity to donate. Some people can donate to one, not the other. Some people donate to both. Whatever you can do, that's all fine. If you've donated to Extra Life and maybe you're a little tapped out, that's okay. But this Movember goes all the way through into early December, so some folks who maybe can't make October work can make November work and still get all the kind of incentives and that sort of thing that we typically do. So let me take a before I totally just go heads down on Lamania here, let me look up our bonus. So for this weekend, we have got a 30% challenge rewards boost. By the way, that works for the Night Revels, which also runs through the weekend, Sunday, November 3rd. This is the final weekend for the Night Revels event. If I kind of burn out on the money here, this is probably what I'm going to do to wrap up the hour is head over to probably the Lannis and run Night Revels a little bit, but regardless, 30% challenge boost kicks off tomorrow late morning Eastern time, runs through Sunday, November 3rd, gets turned off basically at the same time Night Revels gets turned off on Monday, most likely mid-morning Eastern time. All right, what else do I got to talk about? Any news about Alchemist? Nothing new per se about Alchemist, but if you hadn't heard the word, Alchemist has been pushed out of the Keep of the Borderlands update. And the reason for that is we just need to... it's not ready yet. But as soon as it is ready, we're going to let you know. So, as you can see here with some of the loot for Keep on the Borderlands, the Heroic, these quests are level 1 and 2. And we have basically a whole new set of level 1 items that you may find are perhaps a bit more competitive than some of the stuff you see in Lochura, perhaps geared toward... Lotro. Korthos Islands. It's what happens when I work all weekend and I'm in the office until 10 o'clock every night for the past couple of weeks. But there you go. Sorry about that, folks. Anyway, we have a bunch of new ML1 stuff that's going to help people out, probably on the reincarnation tip. But ooh, that's nice. ML1 Featherfall, huh? So obviously the numbers are what they are. But I wanted to pull some of the armors and stuff so I could at least get you a cosmetic look of what some of this stuff looks like. Now, Lamani is going to be open, as I understand, through Thursday. And we do have a dev event tonight that runs from 6 to 8 o'clock. All right, let's try on a few of these things. Oops, looks like maybe there's no APR on that one yet. Alright, so that is the cloak, the mantle of gentle descent. That's the feather falling feather falling cloak. Made out o' feathers. Here's the new helmet, which I think is new. I don't recall that one in the past anyway. Got a new shield that I think is also a new look. Let's check out them specs. Oops. There we go. Yep, I do Movember and Extra Life every year. It used to be that I did Extra Life on the Lotro side and then Movember on the DDO side. But over the years, we've had enough DDO players who have suggested we do both for both. That it just made sense to do so. So, what, a couple of years back, rather than having two separate groups, I merged it all into Team Standing Stone Games as one, and we were just able to do that. I actually wonder if some of these looks on this armor aren't done yet. I don't know. That looks like a standard APR to me. But we'll see. Uh-huh. You ain't wrong. Nice. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah. All right. Do I actually have a... Yeah, we're not doing weapons in this, it looks like, so... We just do that. I don't have my thing with me. I'm trying to remember. Let me actually post that in an internal chat here. Oh, no, that's in my email. There we are. There we go. I'm going to create a mount here, so. Try and answer a few of your questions regarding that. Was able to show it off last week, and now you too can see it on Lamania. It is still a work in progress. We have a bunch of kind of animation work to do, and as you can see, this one's working, but a few of the other cloaks are still kind of clipping through, so we have a little bit of animation polish to do on that. And just a handful of other kind of things, but in general, the mounts are looking pretty good, so. Alright. Oh, yeah, right. So, some people may wonder why I'm on Lamania rather than the Hardcore League. I am sorry to say that I made it through the Extra Life weekend without dying. And I was doing really good, I thought. And then I played Monday night, and I went into another man's treasure, and I went to do the underwater spike section, and literally my last words were, I think this will be fine. Famous last words, as it were. I made it most of the way through, but as I was getting toward the end, I scraped up across the top of a few ceiling spikes and took 3 hits. Pop, pop, pop. Next thing I know, hello mortality. So I am sorry to say that it looks like my hardcore endeavor is at an end. So, there's still 16 days left, so theoretically I could get to 20, except I know I'm going to be out this weekend. I've been working until, like I say, 9, 10 o'clock, just about most nights for the past couple of weeks. I ain't going to be changing anytime soon, so my actual time to play DDO in the next couple weeks is not much. Well, I'm not a 0. I'm a 1 or 2. I'm definitely getting in a little DDO, gosh darn it. But I'm not getting in enough to be able to hit level 20 on the hardcore server. So unfortunately, I had to accept defeat on the hardcore league this year. So. Growler, I don't know what it is doing currently on Lamania in regards to being a druid in bear form on a mount. But the intended way to do it is you will revert back to human before you mount the horse. I don't know about lance combat. This is not intended to be a combat item. These mounts are not intended to be for combat. They're for getting around public areas and things. It's not to say we couldn't change that sometime, but, you know. Unfortunately, if I had the ability to alt-tab while working, I wouldn't be working till 10 o'clock at night every night. Got a lot going on right now. It's almost like on the Lotra side, we're getting ready to release an expansion. On the DDO side, we're working on Keep on the Borderlands, in addition to Extra Life and Movember. And it's busy times. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm having a good time, and I'm honored to be able to be here and do that with you. So there you go. Still, when I hit those spikes and found myself in the land of lost souls, I just had to go, ugh. Ugh. And I just sat there for about 5 minutes. I'm not good enough. I am not good enough. I'm not good enough. Yeah, I think realistically I'm not good enough. But I'll tell you this, though. One of the things I've really enjoyed about the Hardcore League is that I have learned a lot about how to play DDO. You'd think after all these years that I'd at least know how to play, but I guess I'd be wrong. And I have my skill set, I think, has taken a bump up due to the rigors of the Hardcore League. I've learned quite a bit more about aggro management and pulling and defenses and, frankly, how to keep myself alive. And so I think the days of me dying are pretty much over. No, I think that when I next approach a hardcore league, if we do something like this again, I'm going to be in a much better position to start out properly and make headway without having to go through the process I went through this season, which was kind of a trial by error situation. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. As you know, we are running the Hardcore League through November 15th, so if you want to find out how that's going to work, we do have a FAQ on the forums. It'll sort of get you a good sense of how we're going to do the various wrap-up things, when the worlds are going to be open, which will be in December most likely, and that kind of thing. So all that information is on the forums if you want to look it up. And what happened to my... Oh, here's my Facebook. I was like, what happened to Facebook? Okay. Is there any chance for an owlbear mount? Probably. Who knows, right? We are debuting with horses. We are the DDO team, and we are D&D. So I would say the odds of us not only offering other kinds of mounts, but perhaps getting a little silly occasionally with it is fairly high. So you know how that goes. We are, after all, the DDO team. But I think the idea of maybe like an owlbear mount or something like that. I'm not promising an owlbear mount. But I'd say the odds of us doing a non-horse-based mount are probably pretty close to 100%, even if we haven't formally decided on that yet. Spawn screen kills through death block for sure, and maybe death ward. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Oh, Shadow's Touch. Okay, I was like, spawn screen. Okay. Can you ride the horse in elemental form? You know what? I got a minute here. We can get this problem solved. Let's find out, shall we? Battle goats? You know, I'm down. I am actually very much down for an owlbear mount. I hope we can do that someday, because I like that idea. I may have a list of all sorts of crazy ideas that people are going to hate. I want to be inside of a gelatinous cube. That's what I want. Have to level myself up here a sec. Let's see, which one's the druid? Druid. Okay, there we go. Alright, there we go. Now, let's get myself mount. Alright, so we know that they go regularly in that. Now, let me pull into bear form here. I just want to make sure that they were actually working on a druid before I formally did it.
Come one, come all, to
So a druid is just a human, or the regular druid is indeed mounting on a horse. So let's go into bear form. Hello, I'm a bear. And now I'm going to summon the mount. Yep, and you go back into human. Clearly we need to do a little syncing on the animation there yet. But yep, you just go back into human. And I'm going to assume that's the case for elemental forms as well, because it's probably just a form tech transition. But we'll see. Alright, what else we got? So I've answered the alchemist question. Any idea why the level 1 robes are the only armor without fortification? My guess, I recall, was it Linabelle saying that we probably are going to do away with fortification on those level 1 items? Just because of scaling they're so low as to kind of not be very particularly useful. So my guess is why not the level 1 robe with fortification is because the value is going to basically be negligible. I don't have a stretch goal incentive for hitting 20,000. I don't know. I have a crazy idea for Movember maybe, but I don't know. When can Wizard and Sorks expect to get familiars? Nothing to announce at this time. Can we assume Pallies will get their holy mount? Not at this time. Maybe. But it's not something that we're immediately working on, no. Yeah, number of appearances are still placeholder. Clearly a lot of the animations are not done yet, etc., etc. But we wanted to get some of the functionality out there. Have the cloaks been updated? I never noticed a slight movement when standing still. That may be dependent on your graphic fidelity of the game client, but they've always at least swayed a little bit, unlike, say, Ultra High. The level 1 crafting weapons for Ghost Touch plus Adamantine is what I'm excited most about. Heck yeah. I agree, level 1 Ghost Touch weapons, real nice. We don't have tricks per se on the horse, but we do have jumping. Actually, didn't I think? Oh, let me go back to the test dojo here. This will answer another question that I saw in the forums. What happens with Featherfall on a mount? And I can show you that one too. So yes, your mounts will featherfall with you. Who knows what we're going to do with the animation, but it basically works. Now let's do the final piece. I don't actually know what happens if we go underwater. Check that out, man. Yeah. They don't swim. Why not roll up one of the demo characters if it would be quicker? That's normally what I do. But I was having a problem where when I tried to bring them into the game world, it was just saying, error? And I was like, alright. Well, I guess I'm doing it the old-fashioned way then. Yes, you have to spend all your points admin or not. I know, right? Next hardcore should be a permanent mimic event as well. Ouch. What we most want to see is an all-new iconic class Talenta Plains halflings riding dinosaur mounts and able to attack using spears. I'm down. When I come off the mount... No, it looked like it toggled... Well, I could double check this, but I'm pretty sure it toggled off bear form automatically when I went into the mount here. Yeah, it just toggles off bear form. Oh, they would round up to 5% increments? Okay. I don't know that at level 1 a 5% fort is something that's frankly worth worrying about, but theoretically, we can hear your dings through the stream. I know. That's what happens when I call up various things like this. I'll shut it off here. After a while, if you're a community manager type, you just sort of, all that stuff just goes on ignored. It's like being a parent of a young baby. After a while, you're just like, yeah, whatevs, man. It's all good. I don't even hear those cries anymore. You know. Can I try climbing a ladder while mounted? Yes, I can. Let's check that one out. See how that works. I can do that in the inspired quarter. Ooh, a seahorse. I'm down for that one too. Oh. Trying to think where else is the easiest ladder to get to. Oh, I know. Maybe STK, right? Waterworks? Yeah. But Waterworks is... Oh, yeah. Yeah, that should work. Oh, right. PvP is a ladder as well. For whatever reason, it looks like it won't work in the Waterworks here. Okay. Let's try that PvP area then. I'll have to follow up to see if that's working as intended. I know it's supposed to work for wilderness areas, but I don't know if they specifically accepted dungeon wilderness areas or not. Alright, here we go with the ladder. Nope. No ladders for you. I'm not a parent of a young baby anymore. I just remember that. How long have mounts been planned for? You know, honestly, not a huge amount of time. It's something that we've been working on for a while now, but I wouldn't say it's been like some massive project or anything like that. It was largely an ability to make it work in a way that we're like, hey, we can actually do this. And so we chose to. Does the speed cap out at 80%, 100%, or does haste and speed items increase your speed while mounted? My understanding is it does not increase your speed while mounted, so it will cap out at its current mount rate. Does the mount get slowed in shallow water like PCs? I don't believe so. Will there be cosmetics for mounts, like armor, war paint, etc.? Not specifically. None of our mounts have an equipment slot. They are equipment. So you don't equip things onto your mounts. However, we absolutely can and probably will be making some mounts that are variants of other mounts, but with things like caparisons and armor and war paint, things like that. So it would not surprise... We will get that. I have no doubt. But it won't be something that you would, say, equip to your existing horse. It would be a new look and a new item. I know what you're saying, Zero Cool, about having a lot of mounts around an NPC in a public area. Hopefully, players will be able to choose to make things easier on themselves and just hit that shift key real quick. Will there be an option for multi-life characters to start inside the Keep on the Borderlands area, or will Korthos remain the default for everyone? Korthos, the original Korthos island with Jeets asking if you're undead, will remain the starting area regardless of whether you're reincarnating or what have you. However, you can just skip if you're on a TR and then skip to Korthos, or skip Korthos, and it goes straight from there into Waterworks. Or Keep on the Borderlands. What are some of the takeaways for the team from the Hardcore League now that it's closing? I don't know that we really want to talk too much business. I would say that it's clearly been successful, both commercially and critically, and in the community for the most part. You know, you're always going to have some people not like a thing, but I think for the most part everyone is on board with saying this was fun. We've certainly learned a bit more about when and where people die, when they're really, really trying to be careful about it. I think we've learned about general acquisition rates of things like favor and Reaper XP for those who are dedicated to achieving those goals. I think we've learned, although we already had I think we already knew, but we now have probably a little bit more data to really show what what the statistical average is for leveling from 1 to 20. A few things like that. So. Adding a port to Keep on the Borderlands from, say, Sunnyside Korthos sounds like a thing we might be able to do in the future. I'm not sure lore-wise if there's any concerns, but that could be. Oh, died on an airship, Cosmic. Oh, that's the worst. Oh, man. That is rough. Can we add a banker to Korthos, please? No. Under no circumstances would it be a good idea to put a banker nor a mailbox in Snowy Side Korthos. Not unless you like fraud and spam. All right. Anyway, can we get more? Let me get that. Character slots. I'm full. Have many TRs. I don't want to delete space. Please give us a few more over 31. I know... Well, let's see. Is that right? 31 isn't the current player max, is it? Pretty sure there's more character spaces available. Right? I think. I would need to double check on that. But 31 characters across, 8 servers or so. You're looking at hundreds of character slots. Hopefully one of those will work for you. I think we're always generally down for being able to allow players to have more character slots. It's really a technical database size and engineering issue more often than not in terms of why we can't just offer infinity. So how can I explain this in a way that would not get me in trouble nor inform spammers of how to do it? Let's just say that if you had the ability to, say, access a shared bank from Snowy Side Korthos, that might allow you to do certain things that would be detrimental to the game environment. Yep. And I really don't want to get into more detail than that. Yep. But there's a reason why it ain't there. So, all right, the other piece I really wanted to show you here is you'll see on our new stat panel. Check this out, huh? Coming with Keep on the Borderlands here, where you have a new panel that is going to give you a bunch more information, like avoidance defenses. Keep in mind, I am level 2, and I haven't even put on a bit of gear, so most of the stuff's going to read 0. But it'll read the actual number here. We have saving throws, so that you can know what your saves are. Elemental defenses, which already existed, but is now in kind of nice number form. Including absorption, both percentage and just static DR style. Movement speed multiplier. Spell cost reduction, threat multiplier, spell pen bonus. That'll be nice. Fort bypass, dodge bypass. One-hand attack speed boost. 2-weapon attack. We should probably look at that. Shield attack speed boost. Offhand hit chance, etc. Ranged combat. So we have a bunch of information there, and it is searchable. You can just expand it all. You can collapse it all. It's kind of nice. You can just kind of do a quick search on that. So that's a pretty nice addition as far as I'm concerned. We haven't touched the rest of the front of the character sheet here. One other piece that we have, however, touched is this. And this is an awesome one as well. See how you can sort by heroic or epic? That's nice. So that'll kind of solve the long-standing issue of having to scroll through the heroic level range to figure out which epic level quest that you have achieved. And it just works standard, descending, ascending, etc. So, theoretically, you probably could maybe put a banker on Sunnyside Korthos without causing some of the issues I described. But then again, it's not like it's hard to get out of Sunnyside Korthos, and there's lots of banks available. But any chance of adding more character viewing options at the selection screen? Like, what kind of viewing options are you talking about? After hardcore, I'm kind of sick of Korthos. I kind of hear you, Cosmic. I think we're going to be pretty... I think Keep on the Borderlands is going to rock to have as a nice option there. Korthos, that area are meant for newcomers to experience DDO simplicity. Having auction house, shared bank, and Korthos are not needed. Better focus on quality of life and 64-bit client, that kind of thing. I think we have tended to agree with you on that front. So, Zero Cool, for quality of life, I mean, this adventure compendium and character sheet stuff is certainly, I would call a pretty significant quality of life improvement coming in update 44 here. But I know that there is interest in doing more with time available, so we'll have to see where we all end up there. But we want to do as much quality of life stuff as we can. Frankly, update 44's got quite a bit of it. So, oh, like one guy's riding a horse as a fire elemental? Cool. Answer: yes, you can ride it as a fire elemental. Need a shark mount. I agree. Yep. All right. I don't know. We're at 47 minutes here. I'm not quite sure what else I could show. Like I said, I don't want to really show off too much keep, because it is a spoiler and people tend not to want that. But I wonder, let me kind of quick go over the Lamania notes, which, by the way, you too can take a look at here if you want, and see if there's a few more things I should be showing off. Typically, I try to avoid content like landscape-style spoilers for this particular show, because in general, enough people are like, I don't want to see it. That makes sense. Also, I should totally get rid of Lamania release notes. Last updated about a year ago by me, because nowadays it's done by Coco Majobo and crew. Base attack speed for bows throwing weapons adjusted for a better experience in the heroic levels, keeping the current max stack at BAB 25 above. It's really just a recurve. Dodge values can no longer be negative. Coup de grace now requires its proper 5 levels of Bard. Bunch of text cleanup. Items that grant neg spell power also grant an equivalent amount of poison spell power. That is something that isn't relevant now, but will become relevant when Alchemist debuts. And ultimately, we didn't want to go through the process of trying to pull out all those changes, because it really didn't matter. It just didn't feel like a good use of time. So it's not particularly relevant now. It'll grant that spell poison, or that poison spell power, but there's nothing you're really going to get from it until Alchemist arrives, because all the non-Alchemist existing poison-based spells tend to be stat damage spells rather than direct poison damage spells, and so they are therefore not affected by spell power. Fixing the thing where your clubs are no longer piercing, or no, battle axes are no longer piercing in Night Revels. We fixed the thing with crystal lasers and mirror puzzles so that Stream Tom never has to experience that on stream again. That's news to me about the footstep sounds. And then we do have, the stat thing here. Open. Oh, yeah, here we go. Just a minor one. But the grouping panel now has Warlock, which has been a long time coming and surprisingly challenging to deal with, I guess. But it's here now, so there you go. And that's kind of nice. What else we got? And you can now use the word hardcore in your guild message of the day. Hopefully appropriately. Oh, and also we've changed when you die, it's now a bigger red. Alright. Oh, and also if you have epic levels in your triple class, all of it's going to show up on the member list of the guild panel. Because we're technically counting epic levels as a class, and so it was squishing things wrong. Yeah, cloaks have been designed to sit on a backside of a horse. Like I say, there may currently on Lamania be a few cases where that polish hasn't quite been done yet, but for the most part, that's the intention. It should be ready for live there. And yes, Loaf Beef, hopefully we're going to be adding Alchemist along when that debuts as well. Can I teleport to the Land of Lost Souls on an admin from the hardcore server? Yeah, technically if I wanted to. I don't know why I'd want to, but I could if I wanted to. Yeah, Linabelle said there were icons for iconics in the social panel. So I don't know about that. Trying to see if we have a Scourge here, perhaps. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing it right off the top of my head, but there you are. What is the live date for Keep on the Borderlands? TBD. We are not yet ready to announce a live date for Keep. Sorry. We're just doing our first Lamania preview. I think people who are used to Lamania previews will probably have a fairly good idea what that means. But in case you don't, we usually do a couple of previews, about one a week, and then when things are ready, we release content. So do the math if you want. Do pumpkins show in bear form? Let's find out. Yes. How can you get a silver dragon in D&D Online? We do not. You currently cannot. The idea of searching all your alts for a given item would be amazing, but I have a suspicion that would be just an incredible undertaking and is not likely to happen anytime soon. Wujay over on YouTube, thanks for being here. When will the new expansion come out? I just want to make sure you're aware that Keep on the Borderlands is not an expansion. It is an adventure pack, and it'll be free to VIPs and season pass holders, available in the DDO store for those who wish to purchase it. But it's not an expansion, so it's regular pack-sized and priced. Thanks, Elizabeth, for stopping by. Wish we'd do more Forgotten Realms adventures in Greyhawk 2. Greyhawk is a little bit of a weird place, I think, in terms of 2019 licensing and such. But Forgotten Realms, I'm sure we'll be doing more Forgotten Realms stuff in the future. I know we will. Yeah. All right. Somehow I managed to kill most of an hour. Anything else you guys want to... I mean, technically, you're not in... I mean, is it Temple where you're in... Or against the Slave Lords? I can't remember. One of them is like you might technically be of the opinion that you'd be in Greyhawk, but it's not actually. It's just some unknown world that's not Eberron. Something like that. Ailenry wants a unicorn? I know. Yep. I knew that was coming. But I only want a unicorn if we have mounted combat so you can bore your enemies with it. Can we see me tell it to the Land of Lost Souls? No. I don't know why you're so interested, Titan, in me doing that, but no. Does your jump skill affect horse jumping? I don't know. Let's see if I can figure that one out. If I can remember the admin command to give myself jump. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not able to easily get it done, so I guess we'll just have to not do that one. Sorry. If you sustain any amount of damage, you get thrown off the horse? No. You have to sustain a certain, I believe, basic percentage of your own hit point damage or something like that. Because you can ride through and take a few hits. It's real similar to the way Lochra does it, if you've ever seen that. Right, I could just buy a jump pot. That'll work. I don't know that we're going to see that kind of difference. I really wanted to... One of the ways to make it most obvious was to just me give myself like 100 jump, and then we'll know for sure whether or not it does it. I don't really think... I'm not really seeing a difference. You technically can mount your horse if you're near a mob. It might make running away from mobs easier. However, if you're taking damage, you're probably going to be taking enough damage that your mount is not going to work, so... Yeah, and feather falls on too. So if I get rid of that... I don't... Yeah, I mean, like I say, I'd really know for sure if I was able to just give myself a ridiculous jump and see how that impacts things, but... There we go. Could I try going into stealth mode on my horse? Okay. Horse goes away, and you are in stealth. And if you mount while on stealth, you lose your stealth. Does invisibility affect the mount? I don't know the proportion off the top of my head. You can get it. I don't know if I've got enough points. Yeah. Well, I'm going to leave that one for later. Let's see. Yeah, I agree. Zero cool. Hero of the year goes to someone. So. Do hirelings or pets, like the skeleton, summon run at the same speed when mountain, or do you... They're going to be basically tethered to your avatar, so it should just do what they would normally do if you're running too fast compared to their normal movement speed. I would love a button for sorting my equipment. Go to sub T. Does jump benefit beyond 40? No. I would just basically going to, what my intention was, I was going to set it to 0 and then do a jump. And I was going to set it to 100 and then do a jump, and then we'd pretty clearly know whether it was impacting things. But it looks like I'm out of time. So, Samus Guerrero is going to be up here in just a minute. You can find her full schedule over on twitch.tv/DDO stream. Thank you so much for your support of Extra Life, extra-life.org/team/SSG if you wish to donate. I'll be kicking off Movember later this week. We'll have more information about Keep on the Borderlands in the coming weeks. Tonight, there's a dev event on the money if you want to check it out around 6 to 8 o'clock. Until next week. Have a good day, everyone.